What's going on, everybody? Back with another video here. This video is a request from darkstar2520. He recently requested that I'd make a comparison video between the Zero Tolerance 301 and my Strider SmF. As you look up the left and right hand side of it, you'll see the specs listed. Feel free to pause the video and take a read through the specs here. But I'm going to go and begin here. Now, first off, obviously for a lot of you, you probably know that the ZT is a Ken Onion / Strider collaboration. So there's a lot of qualities in this zero tolerance knife that has, and this shares a lot with the Striders, of course. You know, being as they are collaboration here. So now, first off, actually, before I pick them up, first off, you notice the size; they're about the same in terms of length. Thickness, I think the ZT is the tiny bit thicker or wider, I guess I should say, not thicker. Thickness, they're actually about the same too. If you guys take a look here, both of them very beefy knives, with the ZT outweighing the Strider by a lot, actually by like 3 ounces, I believe, almost. They both feature G10 on one side and titanium frame locks on the other side, with the Rickhinder lock stop for the locking bar. Nice pocket clips. Now the ZT will outshine the Strider in this field, where the pocket clip is actually 4-way repositionable. Here it's tapped here and here and here, so you get the full range of carry options here. Whereas on the Strider, you only get one. You know, or actually technically 2. You can either have it on or you can take it off. So, but let's go ahead and get into the handles here first off, and let me go and zoom in a little bit. You guys can take a look at the handles here. So first off, let's talk about the jimping. So you tell the jimping on the ZT is actually much finer cut, and the jimping on the Strider is more like squared off, but both of them are very, very grippy, you know. So this has a flipper on here for deployment, but I'll get into that in a second. The jimping on the back are exactly the same, more finer cut on the ZT and blockier on the Strider. There's no jimping underneath here, but you can tell the thumb studs are not really used to be deployed and used as deployment methods. You can tell this is just, you know, completely covered up by the handle scales here. Same with this, you can't really even get to this. I mean, that's what the deployment hole is for. On the ZT, it's straight up flipper design. Now, the beauty about the ZT is the fact that it is speed safe, so it is with assisted openings, which means you're going to be able to deploy the knife every single time. Whereas on the Strider is full manual, so you do have to open it manually. You know, so if you have gloves on or something, or you slip opening this knife, then you know you're not going to deploy the knife on the first try. Now with the ZT, you know, despite this weight, you know, it's a very, very good feeling knife in the hand, by the way. If you hold on to them, the more roundness of the handles here, to me at least, in my opinion, feels a lot better in the hand. It's nice and wide for those guys that have larger hands, or you know, if you're wearing gloves or anything. This feels a little more substantial in your hand than the Strider does. So, but the Strider does have these 2 excellent cutouts here, so you can actually just choke up on the blade, or you can hold it back one choil and get like more reach. So, while we're on the subject, let me go and set these down again. Let's see here. So let me go and line them up really quick. So this is about, okay, so this is about right. So you can tell here that when they're lined up fully open, the Strider is actually a tiny bit longer than the ZT, and it's about a 1/4 of an inch. But take a look at their cutting edges. So if I move the Strider back toward where the cutting edge begins on the ZT, like about here, you notice how much longer the ZT is now all of a sudden. You know, it's about 1/2 inch actually longer than the Strider. So what you're sacrificing with this first choil is actually cutting length, cutting edge here. And the ZT also has a recurve plus a wide, broad sweep of a blade, and also actually the blade is just plain broad, you know, very, very wide blade. So whereas on the Strider you get a more narrow blade, you know, probably better for piercing actually, but you don't get the recurve on the Strider at all. Now, in terms of pricing, I know a lot of you are thinking, you know, well, how's that compared to it? So obviously you guys know that if you've done any kind of research, you'll know your regular production Striders will cost you $500 basically, whereas you can get the ZT301 for $230 $30, I think, something like that. I'm not quite sure about the pricing these days, but it's within the 200 mark, you know, like, or under 300 basically, well under 300. So I think you get a lot of knife for the ZT301. You get the assisted opening, you get a much broader blade, you know, heavy duty knife. Both are heavy duty knives actually, but you get the 4-way repositionable pocket clip, the Rick Hinder lock stop, you know, and of course that's the same on the Strider. But just as like Strider, you get the same G10 and the titanium frame locks. I mean, really, they didn't skimp on the features when they introduced this knife, and it's actually kind of like a budget Strider, if you will. And you know, I would actually recommend anyone to pick up the ZT301 or even the 302. The main difference is color. One's Ranger Green, the other one's a Coyote Tan, I believe it is. So basically, for price wise, the ZT is well worth it. You know, well worth their $230 or $240, whatever they go for these days. But whatever the price is, they're still under $300. This is $500 to start off. You know, and that's not even a custom knife. You know, it's just a regular production knife. I believe they are considered. So. But yeah, so I hope this helps darkstar2520 and anybody else who's actually wondering about the differences between both these knives. But if you guys have any more questions, feel free to PM me or you know, write a comment below or something like that. But anyway, I hope I covered everything. So from me to you, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You know, all the support you guys have given me. I will catch you guys on the next review. All right, take care.